everybody, I'm Sara Leib, and this is SingingTelevision.com, making singing simple. We have a very special guest today in episode number 6. Her name is Sara, like me, Gazarek. Sara Gazarek has been a friend of mine since 2003, so 7 years.
Wow.
That's a long time, right?
It's a really long time.
And lucky me, I was friends with her before she was famous, which is a very good thing. She was still in college. We both were. I was graduating, you were still in college. We both did a little workshop-y, retreaty thing, and got to be friends that way. So Sara is a very well-known jazz singer, primarily in the jazz genre. But I'm going to give it away to you, and why don't you talk about yourself for a couple minutes, and I'll ask you some questions. And basically, this is our first guest, it's our first interview. I'm very excited about it. And turn it over to Sara Gazarek. We're going to link her below, so you'll be able to visit her website, Twitter her up if you want, check out her music, buy her CDs, all that kind of stuff.
So my name is Sara. Thanks for having me, Sara.
It's my pleasure!
And it's good to be here.
Yeah.
I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and came down to Los Angeles to go to USC. Started my own group shortly after graduation. We have 3 CDs out. Have toured nationally and some international stuff as well.
A lot of international stuff. Don't sell yourself short.
We have a lot
She's
of
big in Japan.
stuff. Big in Japan.
Like the Tom Waits song.
Right.
My favorite. I love Tom Waits.
And then, you know, I mean, we're all young, and so it is super jazz based, but we do some original compositions and some contemporary American standards as well, just to kind of keep things interesting for us.
And some stuff that you guys write, correct?
Yeah, original music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So when you went to USC, University of Southern California, Kajizi got her bachelor's there. I just finished up some grad school there. Tell me, did you go specifically for their program? Did you go specifically for a teacher? Because Sara and I have done some studying with Tierney Sutton, who here at LA Music Academy calls her music is actually the head of the vocal department, so kind of keeping it in the family. Did you come to study specifically with Tierney, or did you go there because you wanted the music program, or maybe to start to study with Carmen Bradford? I don't know.
No, I had a friend who went to USC shortly after he had graduated from the same high school in Seattle, and he loved it and was amazing, incredibly amazing male singer. And I just kind of wanted to.
Who's that?
He doesn't sing anymore. His name's Brett Hamby, but he was great. And then so I moved down there, and then when I was there, Tierney Sutton was on faculty, Carmen Bradford was on faculty, and Jennifer Barnes was on faculty, and all 3 of them have very different styles. Tierney is, you know, super kind of natural talent, ear-based. She knows a lot of, she just is different, whereas like Jen is like a pianist, you know, and can say like that flat 9 works on this chord because, you know what I mean. And Carmen was like singing, right? And Carmen was like sing with the pork chop in your pocket, like, you know, just super kind of like grew up on the bandstand type stuff. So. It was a really well-rounded education, but I didn't go for any one particular person. I just happened to be there when a really eclectic, amazing female jazz faculty were there.
Faculty.
Mm-hmm.
Faculty?
Mm-hmm.
Faculty. Alright, cool. So I got some questions for you. What would you have wanted to know as a singer when you were first starting out? Because we knew each other when you were first starting out. And actually, can I say this publicly? I remember when we were in Colorado together on this retreat vocal singing jazz thing, you were like, press kit? I don't know what that is. What's a press kit? And I showed you my press kit. I said, take this. 6 months later, blown up, Kajizi. So basically it's all my fault. No, I'm kidding. I like to take credit where it's not due at all. But I do remember that. So that may be one thing that you want to talk about. But also, when you were starting out, what are a few things that you wish you'd known that you know now?
You know, I would say really basic things like asking questions is okay. So when I first started out, I had started out in the theater program at my high school and was like big theater girl, like at the top of the class, like the theater person at my high school, and just kind of swapped into jazz and knew nothing. And I went from this place of like being the top to being at the bottom, and I knew nothing about music theory. I didn't know a whole lot about vocal technique. I didn't know a lot about jazz. And
Did you know how to read music?
No, not at all. So I spent a lot of time catching up, you know, and I didn't ask a lot of questions because I didn't want people to know that I didn't know.
Okay, so what you're saying is, you know, a lot of the time this is great for me, right? Because a lot of the time we don't want to say, hey, I don't know this. It's like hard to admit it. I love admitting what I'm not good at. In fact, what was it? There was some place I was writing a blog about all the stuff I'm not good at, and I was like, wow, this feels really kind of cathartic. I'm not good at dancing, I'm not good at art, I'm not good at all these sorts. In fact, I'm really only good at two things, cooking and singing. But in any case, Sara has experienced my cooking, we've experienced one another's cooking, we do like to cook together.
I mean, what I'm saying essentially is that in the beginning, because I didn't know anything, I felt like I needed to know everything.
Okay.
And now that I feel like I have my feet in the water, I'm not necessarily swimming well.
I think you swim very, very well. And
But everybody, I mean, the more you know you don't know.
Okay.
And so at this point, I know that I can ask questions, and that it's okay to ask questions. So that's number one.
Now, ask questions from whom? Because very often when I'm with a band, I'll say, there may be something that I don't understand, or maybe I just don't know it as well as, for instance, it's not my job to play drums. It's not my job to support myself playing drums. That's not what I do. So very often, like if I have an arranging question or something like that, I'll say, hey drummer, how would you best write this? Is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
I'm talking about everything.
Okay.
So like just acknowledging that you don't have to know everything, and that people are okay at answering questions.
Great.
So if it's musicians, if it's other singers, if it's people about anything, you know, like I don't understand why a diminished chord should be sung over a flat, like which diminished scale should be sung over which flat 9 chord, you know, so silly stuff like that I was like, I get it, even though I totally didn't.
Right.
I ended up not learning that stuff because I pretended to know.
And you were afraid to ask.
And I was afraid to ask.
I absolutely understand that.
So that's number one, is not being scared to ask. I wish that I had known that. What else? Number 2, probably, one thing that was really surprising to me, I went on a big tour with 3 fairly well-known singers and was like a senior in college.
Tell them who.
Karen Allison, Diane Schuer, and Alita Adams, and I went on tour for the Concord Jazz Festival, and
I remember that.
Alita Adams,
very excited.
I was excited.
I was very excited for you. Yeah.
And Alita Adams pulled me aside and said, you don't have to thank people as soon as you're done with the song. Like, you can let the song rest for a minute. And that, it represented a lot more to me than I think she meant in the moment. It really represented that, like, you can let the song rest, you can be with the song and let it really take its course and then thank the audience. You don't have to rush into the thank you and basically, like, you know, shut them up. I was trying to shut them up instead of just letting them
clap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So that was really kind of like life-changing in a bigger way than I think Alita meant it. And then the third one is that everything is like so unpredictable in the music industry, and that you just have to be ready for that. You know, so like everyone had always said, you know, the music industry is really hard. There's a lot of weird people that you deal with, but you never really get that until you deal with people. So there's a lot of different personalities. As a band leader, you kind of have to manage your group and be okay with like their personalities, and then there's like weird promoters that you have to deal with, and then there's like a lot of stuff that happens that you never can anticipate, like delayed flights and missing gigs and booking things on the wrong days. It's like so much unpredictable that happens that you kind of have to. I wouldn't have guessed that was the case when I was getting into everything.
Okay, so do you think that your background in terms of jazz, because jazz is such an improvised music, would you say that that actually helps you deal with things in life where, like, oh my goodness, we missed this flight, we can't get to Tokyo, we're going to miss the Blue Note, the whole first opening, say that didn't happen to her, but if it did, do you think that that kind of helps you just go like, well, you know, we have no control, what are you going to do? Make lemonade? Lemons out of lemonade? Lemonade out of lemons.
There you go. I think that there's a certain personality